Hi, welcome to day 10 of these 21 days of tapping to embrace happiness. Today, I want to talk on and tap about a subject which I think is quite delicate, staying optimistic in the face of adversity. When we're going through troubled times, I don't know, maybe even something like a natural disaster or a medical diagnosis or something going on with one of your loved ones, it's really hard to stay optimistic and to be told this too shall pass, or everyone has difficulties to overcome and problems to solve. It's all true. We know this is true, but it doesn't really help in the moment. And I think the whole idea of optimism is very much a learned thing. And some of us maybe are lucky and have had parents who are basically optimistic, and some of us maybe not. So it's not the same for everyone. So let's do a little bit of tapping today on the kind of emotions that are there, and then let's do a bit of tapping to increase our resilience and the feeling that we can cope in these troubled times. So just start off by taking a big breath and say to yourself, it's really hard to stay optimistic in the face of adversity. And how true does that feel for you on a scale of 1 to 10? So 1 would be, no, not at all, I'm always optimistic. And 10 is, oh God, tell me about it. And what kind of emotions come up for you as you think about these hard times? So it can be sadness, worry, fear, anger, all kinds of things. So let's do some tapping. Even though it's so hard to stay optimistic in the face of adversity, I love and accept myself completely. Even though it's so hard to stay optimistic in these difficult times, I love and honor myself completely. Even though it's so hard to stay optimistic, it's so hard to believe that things will get better. So hard to believe that it won't always be this way. That I won't always be feeling this way. Waking up each morning with this feeling of dread and sadness and struggle. And even though it's so hard to stay optimistic in the face of adversity, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself and anyone else who's involved here. It's so hard to stay optimistic. Right now, I'm not feeling optimistic. It's so hard when things are so difficult to maintain my optimism, to stay positive. It's really hard because this situation is really hard. All these things going wrong, all these difficult events. Maybe it's around my health or someone else's health, someone I love, finances, maybe my career, or a natural disaster, or something else. But times are hard. These are troubled times. I'm trying to stay optimistic. Sometimes it's beyond me. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed with these negative emotions, with these uncomfortable emotions, feeling so worried, feeling unhappy, all this overwhelm. Everything feels so difficult. And trying to stay positive, it feels too much. I'm honoring all these feelings. Because right now, times are so hard that it's hardly surprising I'm not feeling optimistic and cheerful. All these feelings, I can feel them in my body, maybe in my heart, my stomach. All these feelings. I'm honoring and acknowledging them. It's okay to feel them. Allowing myself to feel this way. Giving myself a bit of feeling space. It's okay to react this way. I love and I accept myself anyway. Times are hard. Adversity is hard. So take a breath. And I would take a couple of rounds or a little bit more tapping to tap on anything specific that came up. It may be a specific emotion, a specific thought, or a specific person or event. And now let's do a bit of tapping to draw on our resilience and our coping skills and see if we can just lighten the energy a little bit. Let's just go straight around the points. Although times are hard, I am drawing on my resilience. I'm choosing to recognize myself as strong, as someone who can cope, as someone who can be optimistic in the face of adversity. I choose to draw resilience from somewhere deep inside of myself, allowing myself to feel that resilience, allowing myself to remember every time I've been able to access my strength, my inner wisdom, my resilience. I am a coper. I've got this far. And life hasn't been easy. it's thrown a lot of things at me and at the people who I love. I've had to go through a lot of stuff. I've had to cope with many difficult situations. And sometimes I tell myself, I can't cope. I certainly can't be optimistic. And yet I'm recognizing that I have an inner strength that I can draw on. I'm really acknowledging that. Really seeing just how strong I am. And there will be moments when I just go to pieces. And that's okay. But I'm allowing myself to access a calm and to know that things will get better, that adversity is cyclical. There will be good times in the future. Although it feels a long way away, almost inaccessible. But one day, I'll be feeling differently. And right now, I choose not to allow myself to go into patterns of negative thinking that bring me down. I'm aware of my thoughts. I become the observer. I allow myself to be a little objective, becoming mindful of the kind of thinking patterns that bring me down. Recognizing them, thanking them for sharing, but reminding them that they're just thoughts. Things I've said many times before. I'm allowing myself to see the bigger picture. Allowing myself to know that I don't know what this is all for. That maybe there is a bigger picture. It can be very hard to see. I choose to surrender, to let it be when times are troubled. Recognizing my strength, doing whatever I can to cope, to support myself and others, and being very kind to myself, choosing to feel a lot of love and compassion, being my own greatest supporter as I go through these difficult times. So just take a breath. There's a really nice quote I wanted to share with you by Alice Abrams, who says, "In life as in the dance, grace glides on blistered feet." Be very careful with your own blistered feet. life can be hard sometimes. And I would revisit the pink light meditation, which was on day 6, and infuse this situation with as much love and pink light as possible. And my heart is with you.